Yo, what's going on, guys? We got a new episode today. White people need black friends. Let's get into it. Look at me, mommy. I'm flying. It's the DuJuan Elliott Podcast. Others be faking, but I got a real podcast. It's the DuJuan Elliott Podcast. They gon' be hating cause I got a real podcast. It's the DuJuan Elliott Podcast. I finally got my own freaking podcast. Yo, what's going on, guys? How's everybody doing so far? Man, it's been nuts. It's been awesome. I've been at it, man, trying to get this thing popping. Hey, guess what, man? I got something I want to share with you guys, man. It's about, coming here a while back and how, just being here in Minnesota, man, just really changed my perspective on the way the state looks. Because I remember back in the day, man, if you guys don't know, if you don't already know, I go by DuJuan Elliott, but I also go by DuJuan Blackshire. So maybe that'll ring some bells with you guys. But if you don't know, me and my two brothers sing backup vocals with Prince starting in 1999. Yeah, we started singing backup vocals with Prince, and that gave us a perspective. I know for sure me, when I first arrived here, especially coming from Houston, Texas, I got a perspective, man, on, because being around the whole Prince camp, that's all we ever did was, sing. We would go from Morris Hayes recording studio straight out to Paisley Park. And then we would go into rehearsals, and we would go from rehearsals. And after that, we'd go back to the studio off, at Morris's studio. Then we would go from there back to Paisley Park. And then we'd have Friday night and Saturday night jams that would go to like 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if you guys remember those days, but I do. And they were amazing. I miss them. I miss Prince. I miss you, dude. Wish you were still here. Lord only knows what you would be doing right now with the whole pre and post George Floyd situation and everything that's been going down right now. I can only imagine the type of music that you would put out off of being inspired by seeing what's going on right now. Wow, it's been amazing. But before we even get into white people needing black friends here in Minnesota, I'm gonna take you guys back for a minute. So let me think about this for a second. So, me and my brothers sing in a gospel recording group called the Beard Family. Probably the coolest, most amazing, most influential recording gospel group down south, based out of Arkansas, Pine Bluff to be exact. 3 uncles, my aunts and my mom, my grandmother. Yeah, that's where we came from, me and my brothers. That's where our roots, that's where we started. But what I'm getting to is what it was like to grow up in Pine Bluff, Arkansas was amazing at the time, because me and my brothers got the opportunity. We were blessed to come up around great people. My grandmother spearheading the whole thing. But what me and my brothers saw back then as kids was diversity. And not only that, but we saw melting pot. Everybody in our neighborhood, it was black and white. It was multicultural. You had my grandmother, you had Miss Newton, you had Miss Chris Colburner, who was like best friends with my Uncle Jimmy, and he was white. It was multiracial, it was diverse and a melting pot. So me and my brothers didn't grow up in the all black community type of thing. It was just diverse. The high school we went to was diverse. It was amazing. So that's our roots. So I get it. I get what's going on today, but it's been kind of crazy. It's been kind of crazy for me. So giving you that history of where we came from and what it was like, I've always kept that in the forefront about how I approach life. Meaning like, I didn't want just all black friends. And I didn't want just all white friends. I didn't want to surround myself with all Mexicans. I didn't want to surround myself with just one group of people. It was just already stored in my subconscious that I need to be around diverse people, which, fast forward just a little bit, my move to New York was perfect because it was like Pine Bluff, Arkansas as a kid on steroids. So for me, it was just like, okay, I'm home. I can't, it doesn't get any better than this. And that was, like I said, one of the best experiences out of me and my brother's lives, because that's our roots. That's where we started from. That's where it all started. And so to come here, when we left singing professional gospel, fast forward, from singing professional gospel, coming here to sing with Prince, we were surrounded by so many, a diverse network group of people, not just from the musical aspect, but from a business aspect, from a friendship aspect. It was just amazing to see, so my interpretations of moving to Minnesota back then was like, oh wow, this is like a mini New York, because that was my bubble. That's all I ever saw coming out of, Paisley Park and being around all these amazing musicians and these artists. It was awesome. So, so once our tenure was up with Prince, we moved out and we started pursuing our career in music and doing other things. And, so time flies, time goes on, and fast forward, and here I am back here in Minnesota. And I have to say, I am very shocked about what I've been seeing. I will say this. I was here before the whole before the whole George Floyd thing went down. And I could tell just off of being here after like a month, it started to settle in about what this culture is really like here. And just from my personal opinion, God, it may be fact. Minnesota is diverse, but there is no melting pot. And if it is, it's very little, for sure. Because man, like I said, before the whole George Floyd thing went down, I could sense it in the air. Like, you go over to a friend's house and you're going to a party over a friend's house, and you look around and you realize you're the only person in there that looks like you. Right? But then you go over to one of your friends' houses that look like you, and you realize that you're the only, like, throughout the whole party, everybody looks like you. So it started to like hit me a little bit, like, oh my God, is this what Minnesota is really like? I didn't get it. So then along the way, man, I started to see the differences between the cultures here. It's almost like I heard somebody say this about Minnesota. It is the white Wakanda. And it hit me because I was like, oh my, wow, they're right. Because like everywhere I would go, like uptown, like God, north, like, you just biking around the lake. For the most part, all you saw was, you get it, right? So it started to dawn on me like, okay, so what's really going on here? What's really going on? You would get around the black culture, and you felt a lot of tension. I did. Like it just almost felt like something was brewing, right? And there's no like, and it really got to me because, like, really there's no communication between the two. And it was so bizarre to me to see that, so to go from that, man, to like getting to know the culture a little more, because come on, let's back up. Like, I didn't really understand the culture of Minnesota, and because of working with Prince for so long, so the people that were around us it was just like being in New York, because you had people that are from everywhere around the globe around him in his circle, so people from everywhere, all walks of life, so back to Minnesota. Yeah, this is bizarre. And I could see like the tension brewing with the black community. I could see it. It was like it was tough, especially with the black women. Like, no one looks you in the eye. You just feel tension. It was almost like people just waiting for something to pop off. It was like, man, how do I explain it? It's kind of hard to explain, but it's almost like you could cut through the tension in the air, and and it bothered me. And I would always call my brother Johnny and was like, bro, it is something different in the air here, man. Something is going on. Something is really going on. And we would talk about it. I was like, ugh. But the difference is here, because look, I had the choice. It's either staying in Atlanta or coming here. And I liked here better because the pretentious level is here. So you're gonna meet a lot of more down-to-earth people here for sure. From my experiences. I don't know. Everybody else's experiences are different, And I like the musical aspect of Minneapolis, So that was one of the things that drawn me back here, But okay, so back to my topic. So the whole George Floyd thing goes down, and COVID hit, which was wow. Then I understood, because man, the black culture, they went off. And throughout that whole situation, I started to understand what was going on. It was the communication. I don't know what it is, why the cultures can't talk to each other here. I don't get it. It's just communication. That's all it is. I think we really go off this thing of we go off of just, and I get it, we're going to judge books by the cover, but I think we don't give each other a chance here. We just go off of what we see. And I'm going to have to say it. Just like the title of this episode is, White People Need Black Friends. Seriously. I have hung out with a lot of people here. I have friends from every walk of life, and I do mean close friends from every walk of life, especially living in New York, right? Everybody's piled on top of each other. No one, for the most part, really cares about the color of your skin there. Here, it's a little bit different. Wow, it's insane. You're walking up the street, it's more pronounced here, should I say. You're walking up the street, a woman that's white sees me, if I'm walking behind her, she jumps to the other side of the street. It's bizarre. And I think it comes with a lack of understanding and a lack of communication, so to speak. And whether you guys like this or not, we need each other. It's that simple. And I think, too, a lot of people here have gotten very comfortable with their surroundings. And that's sad. What I think needs to happen is I think you just need to get a whole, at least, we need to do this once a month. Get a school bus, at least 4 or 5 school buses full of white people. And let's just dump them off into the hood and introduce them to some nice black people. How about that? Because I think we get too comfortable here. Seriously, too comfortable. It's not cool. Not cool. And even like I said, when the whole George Floyd thing was going on, man, my God, boy, people were doing the weirdest stuff. the weirdest stuff. Like I hung out with, I was dating someone, and when the whole George Floyd thing went down, like, it was the perfect time to communicate with nice people that look like me and go, yo, what can we do, like, to figure out this situation? What can we do to open up the lines of communication? Man, I was hanging out with someone, and I would go out with them and their friends, all white, go out and hang with them, and this was like in the middle of the whole George Floyd thing, and it would just, no one, they would look at me and they would just feel very uncomfortable. And I think that's one of the things that I've noticed about the Minnesota culture here, is that you guys have got to learn how to communicate, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable. White people need black friends. And I say that because if you go out and you talk to people that don't look like you, it's exciting. Because they're going to have experiences that you've never experienced. They were probably raised differently from the way you were, which is amazing. You don't always have to surround yourself with people that look like you or have the same views as you or anything like that. That's not how I was raised. I think Minnesota needs to open up. The culture here needs to open up and learn how to communicate. Because I've ran across a couple of people that are so concerned, lots of people here, and I get it. It's just Minnesota culture. But we do have room for growth. Seriously. Right? I think so. I mean, let me know in the comments. Don't forget, subscribe to the DuJuan Elliott Podcast. I got more episodes coming. Wow, it's going to be amazing. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Let's keep this thing going. Spread the word. Let everyone know that, hey, I'm here. For real. Yeah, now, let's get back to the show. But what I was saying, like, there are so many people here that are afraid to communicate, I didn't grow up like that. I grew up with a very stern, strong, loving grandmother who spoke her mind. And now, in looking back at that, I understand why she raised us the way she raised us. Because especially being here and seeing a culture that's not open to communication. You can't always take the safe route out. Seriously. It's not good to always play it safe. You have to take leaps. You have to take chances. You have to step out of yourself. After all, once again, like I said before, we need each other. Humanity, we're the only species on the face of this planet that feels like we don't need each other. And I think it sucks. For real. Yeah, especially with the whole independent thing, which I'm gonna get into in a later episode, because yeah, that's really sucking. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna credit Beyonce for that one. But all it's done is just split us up even more to the point to where we can't communicate. And it's disgusting. Hate to say it. And to be honest with you, Prince will be very sad right now. Because this isn't what he stood for. No. Seriously. Let's just think about that for a minute. We got a lot to work on. And look, I get it. I've stayed in so many states, man. And I noticed and I've seen the strengths and weaknesses of all of these states. But coming here, man, to see this is just embarrassing. And I'm not trying to put, like I said, I'm not trying to put you guys down. I'm not trying to put your culture down. But hey, someone needs to come out and say something about it. White people, seriously, you're embarrassing here in Minnesota. Very embarrassing. We need to do better. Seriously. It's all communication. And once again, you can't play safe. I'm sorry. You're never going to get anywhere playing it safe. And to be honest with you, your kids are going to view it just differently when they get older. Seriously. Everyone my age, if you got kids, I have a 20-something-year-old daughter. Your kids, they're going to think a little bit different than you. Seriously. But with all that being said, guys, I'm excited. I had to get this out there. This has been on my mind for a minute. I just wanted to keep it short and sweet. I have a great episode coming up, guys. Guess who's coming in to the studio to podcast and hang out with me for a minute? Now, I'm not going to tell you. But stay tuned, because I guarantee you're going to love it. It's an OG from the Purple family. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Don't forget, guys, to subscribe to the DuJuan Elliott Podcast. It's right down here at the bottom. That little bell, hit it. Subscribe to the channel. I got more amazing episodes coming up here real soon. Love you guys. Oh, yeah. YouTube, Twitch, and Patreon. Type in the DuJuan Elliott Podcast. Sub. More episodes coming soon, guys. Let's stay lovely. Let's stay peachy. And I'll see you guys soon.